Hey guys, in this video, I want to talk to you about how your wrists should be working in the golf swing. First, we're going to talk a little bit about the backswing, and then we're going to talk about the downswing, and we're going to talk about how you use your wrists to get power, and it's not like a lot of people think it is. So when you're making your backswing, I don't teach a wrist hinge. I want you to let your wrist hinge naturally as the club head passes your hands. So as you're turning back, I don't want you hinging like this. I want you rotating back with your upper body, trying to keep the club moving at the same tempo as your chest. We've talked about that in other videos. And then as the club passes your hands vertically right here, your wrist should naturally hinge. That's if you have a good grip and you're not squeezing the club too tight. So once your left shoulder gets even with the ball and the club passes parallel to the ground right here, the club starts to pass your hands vertically. Your wrist will hinge naturally all the way to the top of the swing. At the top of the swing, we're starting the downswing from the ground up. What happens a lot of times is people will start from their shoulders down, and this will cause you to cast. So you'll get here, and then you start doing this. So you're losing the angle quickly. So you lose power as you come into the ball. Not only that, you end up adding loft as you move into it. So when we're at the top of the backswing, the legs are pulling everything down. You're maintaining the wrist hinge that you have at the top of the swing. And hopefully what you have is about a 90-degree angle between your left forearm and the club shaft. You want to hold that as you move down. So let's talk about a drill you can do to get comfortable holding that and coming through impact square, and then what you do at and after impact to keep the club square. So the reason that's important is when you're coming in, a lot of people think you come down and then you really flip your wrist through. I don't want this motion because it keeps the club face from staying square. What you want to do is you want to be coming in so you still have that 90-degree angle between your lead forearm and the club shaft, and then it starts to release. As your body comes around, you get to impact, you have a little bit of forward shaft lean, and then you continue through. When you're over here, your trail forearm and the club shaft should be making a straight line. We don't want to get into a point where we're back up here in an L position because the club's gone from open to square to close really, really quickly. And while you might be able to pick up a little bit of club head speed that way, if your club's only square for that long, you're not going to know where it's coming down. So what I want you to do is grab the club just below the grip. And you want to go from right here where you have two right angles. You have this one and you have this one. And then your goal is to get your hands in front of your belt buckle and rotate through to this position. When you come through, you're getting the grip going basically up your trail forearm. Let's take a slower look at the drill here. You're trying to maintain the angle between your left forearm and the club shaft as you rotate through. Your goal is to get your hands coming through at the same time as your belt buckle in order to keep the club square. So do that a couple times. That's going to help you get through impact the right way. And then when you hit it, let's slow it down a little bit and look at the full swing. You can see as I turn back, I'm not using my wrist at all. When my club shaft is parallel to the ground, my hands are about the same height as my belt buckle. As I make the downswing, my lead forearm and club shaft are in a 90-degree angle when I'm halfway through the downswing. This is retaining the angle, so you're delivering a lot of power into the ball. Then as I continue to rotate after impact, you can see when I'm back to parallel to the ground over here, my right forearm and club shaft are making a straight line. That's not flipping through impact, so you can keep the club square while still delivering a lot of power into the ball. Now I want to draw your attention to what my club face is doing through impact. You can see that my club stays square for a very long period. This allows you to hit more good, solid, straight shots. Hope that educates your game. I'll talk to you soon.